Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I've posted in the past. If you have any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. If you enjoy lobster, then this video is for you. Several years ago, a viewer asked me about how to stir-fry lobster. I was very reluctant to try it because lobster is very expensive. And then I discovered that you can buy frozen lobster tail. So I found out that the frozen lobster tail actually turned out to be excellent in flavor. In fact, I was surprised how good frozen lobster tail is in comparison to fresh lobster. In fact, I do not see a whole lot of difference at all. So here is a lobster tail that I purchased actually from Sam's Club. I bought like a whole package, which is 5 pounds of lobster, and there's 15 tails in it. And it was excellent price because the lobster tail is about $20 a pound. I mean, still expensive, but it's certainly well worth it. Now, the first thing you need to do is that figure out how to cut up the lobster in order for you to stir fry. The way to do it is that to cut them up through the joint of the tail, and make sure you use a metal knife. If you have a ceramic knife, do not try with the ceramic knife because that will chip it. The lobster tail is quite hard. As you can see, if you cut through the joint, you can cut them into nice small pieces as shown here. Some of the pieces are a little bit harder and you have to put a little bit strength to go through it. But this lobster tail is really quite good, and I was surprised. As you can see, it's very meaty. And this lobster tail is referred to as a cold water lobster tail and supposed to be great in flavor. To stir fry, actually, I use a basic template. I'm going to stir fry it with vegetables. I'm going to use 5 different kinds of vegetables. And then at the end, I also going to garnish it with scallion. So basically, I'm going to have about 6 different kinds of vegetable in it. First, I'm going to season the wok with my spot seasoning method. The first thing I did is that I'm going to saute some ginger. The reason for that is because my wife loves ginger, and I cut the ginger into strips. In future video, I will show you how to prepare ginger for stir frying. The first thing I'm going to do for this dish is I'm going to use some cauliflower, which will be the primary ingredients for this stir fry dish. Now again, here advanced prepping plays a significant role because I already have them all cut up. And then I follow by some green bean. This green bean has been in the refrigerator for a while, so it is actually something that I really want to use it up. Now the broccoli and green bean actually go together very well. They take about the same amount of time to cook, so I put them both together. And then I'm going to add some shiitake mushroom. Now this is a dry shiitake mushroom that I have been hydrated. Again, if you cook for yourself, you can tailor the dish exactly the way how you would like it. My wife loves shiitake mushroom, and I always have some shiitake mushroom on hand. Again, advantage advanced prepping, because I have all these ingredients on hand. I can pick and choose what I would like. And adding the shiitake mushroom definitely is something that I know my wife will be very happy with that. Now, you can buy shiitake mushroom dry, or you can buy them fresh too. But the dry one is obviously less expensive. And you can buy shiitake mushroom either online or in Asian grocery store. There are different kind of shiitake mushroom and different sizes. And this is a medium size. Now, I add the shiitake mushroom and the other 2 ingredients first because they take a bit longer time to cook. The next is I'm going to add some yellow squash. I only just add a few. The main reason is I want to provide it with some color. Now, at this point, I add the lobster. Now, this is a good example of sequential stir frying. What I mean by that is that you cook the ingredients that you want to cook longer first, and then you add the other ingredients that you want to cook for a shorter time later. Now, I add the lobster right now because this is what I expect the amount of time that it will cook the lobster. And then next, I add some portobello mushroom. Now, again, I add the portobello mushroom later than I add the shiitake because the portobello mushroom takes a little bit shorter time to cook. At this point, the wok is getting pretty full, and the bottom of the wok can get to be quite dry. But you can see there's no oil in there. Sometimes you want to add some more oil, sometimes you don't, depends. If you want to char the ingredients, then use little oil, because without the oil, the temperature of the wok surface is going to get really hot. Then it's more likely to cause charring, and this actually will create a nice char flavor to the dish. Okay, so the next step is that I'm going to add some shrimp. These are large shrimp. Actually, they're extra large shrimp. They're the 1620 variety. And I add the shrimp again, like you see here, much later than the lobster, because the lobster has shell on it, and it will take them a little bit longer time to cook. Whereas the shrimp has no shell, so it will cook much faster. Now, if I add the shrimp together with the lobster, and there's a strong likelihood that I'm going to overcook the shrimp. So this timing is really important, again, based on how your experience with it, how much you want to cook the ingredient. So with this sequential stir-frying approach, you can add the ingredients at different time points, and the end result is that you will be able to cook them to the perfect texture that you want by adjusting the timing that you add these ingredients to the wok. Okay, now I'm going to just add some Shaoxing cooking wine. Again, it's completely up to you whether you like the Shaoxing cooking wine. After I add the wine, I add the remaining amount of ginger, which I cut in strip. Now you said, why don't you add the ginger now versus the ginger that you add earlier? The ginger I add earlier will flavor the cooking oil and give the cooking oil and more better flavor. But the ginger I add now is that it will not cook that much. So when my wife eats this dish, she can actually taste the ginger itself. I'm going to season this dish actually quite lightly. First, I'm going to use some oyster sauce, which is my standby sauce. It works, like I said, oyster sauce works with almost anything. And then I'm going to add a very small amount of this teriyaki sauce, which comes from a company called Kinder. And I like this teriyaki sauce because it contains quite a bit of garlic in it. And I add only a small amount of either one of the sauce because I know this dish already will be very flavorful. The flavor will come from the vegetables themselves. It will come from the lobster as well as the shrimp. So it will be a very flavorful dish. You don't need to season it very much. And in fact, I might just use oyster sauce at some other time. But in this case, I want to use a little bit of the teriyaki sauce. Now you notice that I add a small amount of water to create a slight like sauce. And a few quick mix, the dish is ready to be served. The total cook time of this dish is only about 8 minutes, which is not bad for a dish with this complexity. I have 5 different kinds of vegetable in it, and broccoli, green beans, shiitake mushroom, portobello mushroom, and yellow squash. Of course, if I include ginger, there will be 6 different kinds of vegetables. Now, the only thing I need to do prepping for this dish is the ginger. Because ginger, you do not want to cut them in advance. You want to cut them right before you use them in the cooking process because that will keep the ginger fresh. All the other ingredients, I already have them in my advanced prepping. So everything is all ready to go. And this is the benefit of advanced prepping. And if you have not started advanced prepping, I really strongly recommend you to give that a try. Now you notice that the shrimp cook perfectly because of using that sequential stir-frying technique. Shrimp sometimes are very difficult to cook because quite often you can overcook them. The lobster, because of the shell, take them a little bit longer time to cook compared to the shrimp. That's why you notice that I add the lobster to the stir-fry first before I add the shrimp. The shrimp take usually only about 1 or 2 minutes to cook. So using this method, you can adjust the timing of the ingredients, and that's the beauty of stir-frying with its tremendous flexibility that will allow you to cook a dish with many different ingredients, but without overcooking them, and at the same time, it will give you the diversity and variety of different kind of ingredients, and this will make the dish very interesting. Now, this I will call it a one dish meal. I just cooked the dish for the meal, which between my wife and I. We ate about probably 60% of it, and I have some left for me to have lunch the next day. Last but not the least, which I add some fresh scallions that I cut into strips. The scallions always a tremendous addition to any dish as a finishing touch. It not only provides a great aroma and great texture, give you an onion flavor, but at the same time, it makes the dish look more interesting and fun. So as you can see, this is a dish that have really many ingredients in it, but the cook time is only about 8 minutes. And this is a demonstration of the power of the cooking system. Because you use temperature-based cooking, you do not need a recipe, and you can make different substitutions. And with flavor chasing, you can adjust the dish to whatever the level that you want. And of course, with stir frying, it takes only 8 minutes to cook the dish. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine, because I truly believe how important it is that we eat home-cooked meal that prep from scratch using all fresh ingredients. So if you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.